More than 58,000 Jeep Wranglers have been recalled due to an extra part that could lead to fuel leakage and create a fire.
For decades, Jeep stood as the undisputed king of off-road adventure, a brand built on rugged dependability and unmatched capability. But today, that legacy is falling apart. More than 58,000 Jeep Wranglers have just been recalled. A hidden defect risks fuel leakage and fire hazards. But that's only the beginning of Jeep's nightmare. Corporate greed, mismanagement, and a shocking betrayal of loyal customers have turned Jeep from an American legend into a cautionary tale. Skyrocketing prices, plummeting sales, and an identity crisis that has Jeep stuck between two worlds. Too weak for true off-roaders, too cheap for luxury buyers. How did this happen? Why is Stellantis ignoring desperate warnings from Jeep dealers? And is it already too late to save Jeep from its own downfall? Let's uncover the shocking truth. The fall of an American legend. Jeep was never just a brand. It was a symbol of freedom. From World War II battlefields to treacherous mountain trails, its reputation was forged through decades of relentless durability and adventure. But today, that legacy is in ruins. The problem started at the top. Stellantis, the parent company of Jeep, made a fatal decision, one that would destroy everything that made Jeep great. Steel parts swapped for cheap plastic, iconic rugged models shoved into overpriced luxury categories, production oversight slashed, leading to some of the worst quality control failures in Jeep's history. The result? A brand that no longer stands for anything. A vehicle lineup that is neither affordable nor premium. A price tag that alienates loyal buyers while failing to attract new ones. Stellantis believed this was a winning strategy, but what happened next proved just how out of touch they had become. The $100,000 Jeep disaster, a complete failure. When Stellantis reintroduced the Jeep Wagoneer, it was supposed to be the ultimate blend of heritage and modern luxury. Instead, it became a joke, a six-figure price tag that promised premium quality. Buyers expecting perfection were met with dashboard malfunctions, water leaks, and cheap interior materials. Floods of complaints on forums exposed alignment issues, faulty infotainment systems, and rushed production flaws. Jeep had committed the ultimate sin, charging luxury prices for vehicles that felt like cheap imitations. Traditional Jeep fans were priced out, luxury buyers weren't impressed, and Jeep's most expensive model quickly became its biggest failure. The consequences? Disaster. And the worst part? Stellantis tried to hide the truth. Jeep's collapsing sales. The data Stellantis doesn't want you to see. The numbers don't lie. Jeep's sales are collapsing at an alarming rate. Wrangler sales have plummeted. Once impossible to keep in stock, now dealerships are drowning in unsold inventory. The Grand Cherokee, Jeep's best-selling SUV, is struggling like never before. Dealerships can't move overpriced models as consumers walk away. While Ford and Toyota adapted to changing consumer demand, Stellantis refused to listen. Jeep's core audience was begging for durability and affordability. Instead, Stellantis doubled down on a failing luxury strategy. But Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares thought he could manipulate the market.
We still have to compete everywhere else in the world against those very harsh competitors. So what we say is that it is better to compete and make sure that we use this harsh competition to progress faster, to bring our costs, our quality, our competitiveness to the best level in the world.
Cutting costs, raising prices, and expecting customers to stay loyal. He was dead wrong. Quality control is failing. Customers are furious. If Jeep's pricing wasn't enough to drive buyers away, its quality control crisis sealed its fate. Brand new Jeep models are riddled with defects, not after years of wear, but straight off the production line. Dashboard vibrations at highway speeds, massive water leaks flooding interiors, defective infotainment systems breaking within weeks. For decades, Jeep's reputation was built on durability, vehicles meant to take a beating and keep going. But today, Jeep owners are dealing with major defects before even hitting 10,000 miles. And what did Stellantis do? Nothing. No major recalls. No acknowledgement of widespread quality failures. No attempt to fix the brand's biggest problem. Instead, they blamed customers while pushing even more overpriced models onto the market. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, Jeep's competitors saw the perfect opportunity to strike. Ford and Toyota are taking over. While Jeep was collapsing, its rivals were preparing to take its crown. Ford revived the Bronco, a direct competitor to the Wrangler. It was rugged, reliable, and actually lived up to its promises. And Ford didn't price it out of reach. Toyota brought back the Land Cruiser, offering legendary off-road capability without the gimmicks. Tesla even capitalized on Jeep's failure with the Cybertruck, attracting a new generation of off-roaders. While Jeep floundered with overpriced, unreliable models, its competitors were perfecting their formulas. And customers noticed. Today, loyal Jeep fans are turning to Ford, Toyota, and Tesla because those brands actually deliver what Jeep once did. But Stellantis still wasn't finished making mistakes. Jeep's final betrayal. The move to Mexico. As sales tanked, Stellantis made its most controversial move yet, shifting Jeep's production out of the United States and into Mexico. For a brand that once stood for American grit and craftsmanship, this felt like a betrayal. American jobs were lost. Workers who had built Jeeps for decades were let go. And customers questioned whether a Mexico-built Jeep could even match past reliability. Stellantis tried to justify the move as a way to cut costs, but all it did was further alienate Jeep's last remaining supporters. The Jeep brand was now unrecognizable, overpriced, unreliable, and no longer truly American-made. Is there any way Jeep can recover from this? Can Jeep be saved, or is it already too late? There is still a small chance for Jeep to reclaim its legacy, but the clock is ticking. The only way forward is for Stellantis to bring back true off-road durability, lower prices, and stop forcing Jeep into luxury categories. Take accountability for its manufacturing failures. Rebuild trust with dealers who have been ignored for too long. If Stellantis doesn't make drastic changes, Jeep won't just lose market share, it will lose its place in automotive history. The once mighty Jeep brand is now hanging by a thread. Is this the end of Jeep as we know it? Or can it still make a comeback before it's too late? Drop a comment below. Should Jeep return to its roots, or is it already finished?